What are some common misconceptions about child custody? Hi, my name is Carl Birkhead. I'm an attorney with Worth Law Office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been practicing family and criminal law for almost 8 years now. I want to talk a little bit about what are some common misconceptions involving child custody. More specifically, I want to just talk about some things that I've had clients say that really clue me in on they may not know fully what is going on. So, I don't ever expect any of my clients to understand child custody law. I mean, family law is kind of the wild, wild west of the litigation field. Um, Sometimes the rules are played with fast and loose. Sometimes, some things slide that shouldn't slide. So it can be confusing, and I get that. There are things that I hear from my clients, though, that just sometimes it hurts my heart a little bit because it's I know that it's wrong, but I know that so many people don't get that. Here's one of them. Anytime I hear my clients say, well, I looked it up on Google. Y'all, Google's a great resource. I'm going to be honest with you. As an attorney, I use it sometimes. Not all the time though, because I also use like my training in law school and the OSCN and the actual statutes and my experience from doing this for 8 years now. Like all of that goes into how I do my job. It's not just based off of Google University. So anytime I have clients, and it's not just in family cases, but I'll have clients come in and say, "Well, I Googled it and they said this." I'm like, "Yeah, I Googled my symptoms the other day when I had a headache and it said I was pregnant." So I mean, sure, that's a great starting point. I'm not going to knock it, but it's not the be all end all. And I cannot stress this enough. If Google's telling you one thing and your lawyer is telling you something different, please listen to your lawyer. You can ask why. Please, by all means, ask why. Educate yourself, but at least talk with your lawyer about it, and you can run with a little bit of reassurance and certainty that your lawyer's going to know what they're talking about. Even if you didn't, like, even if you thought you were researching the right thing, maybe you didn't research the right terms. Maybe it was like for a case that isn't actually like applicable to your situation, things like that. The other thing that I get people, I get people that are confused about this a lot. It's what does joint custody mean? Because I'll have people all the time and they're like, well, I want sole custody, or I refuse to give them sole custody. I want joint. I want joint. I want. Okay, joint custody doesn't always mean 50-50 time. That's part of it. Absolutely. There's two different types of custody, though. There's physical custody, which is the 50-50 time. And there's also legal custody, which gives you equal parenting rights. This is what a lot of people are actually wanting to keep intact. They think if the other parent has sole custody, then they don't have any rights to make any decisions or to be involved in the kids' lives, and that's not the case. If you've got joint custody with one parent or the other having primary physical custody, meaning having the child the majority of the time, you can still have that on a joint custody plan. Both parents still have the same rights for making the decisions for the child. So just be aware that sometimes there are things that maybe you don't fully understand, or maybe there's some things that you're kind of curious about. Ask your lawyer. That's what we're here for. The worst thing that you can ever do is to just take half a bit of information and run with it instead of at least getting some confirmation with your attorney. If you have questions about this, absolutely give me a call, please. I'd love to sit down. I'd love to talk with you about it. Let's see if we can get something figured out. My name is Carl Birkhead. I'm an attorney with Worth Law Office, and I want to help you make law easy. Thank you.